I would be honored if you played football for this team.
Me? Play football?
Yes.
Come on, Lenny! Pump it in there, baby! Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
So no matter what happens, just keep sticking it to them. Now who are we?
Game machine.
Wrong side! Left side! Left side! Left side!
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
You all know what you have to do. Remember, no one, and I mean no one, comes into our house and pushes us around. This is your game now, gentlemen. Let's get a fight.
This is a game we are gonna win. This is the game that people are gonna talk about for years. Clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose.
Let's hear it, gentlemen. Clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose.
Let's go play some football. Let's go, baby!
And here we go, folks.
Gov's Comedy Club Radio, whatever it is. Welcome to Governors. Welcome to Comedians on Football. My name is Steve Belanger, joined by Kenny Ryan, Mike Nicolia, and a whole bunch of trades that did not happen today. So there's 40 minutes of the show we're not going to have to talk about. Cool. Anyway, we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about today. I want to talk about Governors Comedy Club's best place to go on Long Island or anywhere on the East Coast for live comedy. Check out the Brokerage in Belmore, McGuire's in Bohemia, and the main club here in beautiful downtown Levittown. Governors, the big room. Again, thanks for joining us here on Comedians on Football. Don't forget to visit our sponsors. We're going to talk more about them later, but we've got Epic Escape Rooms, and of course, my favorite, Zorns of Bethpage. Everybody loves a little Zorns of Bethpage, almost as much as I wish Matt Moore would have won that game. All right, let's get into it. Mike Nicolia, first-time guest. Kenny Ryan, long-time, second time. Let's get started. Kenny, you're late. You catch your breath. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hey, I don't know much about football.
Cool. I've done my job perfectly. Comedians on some things. We're going to talk about some things. You like? We've talked football in the green room.
A tad.
Bit. You fake your way through it.
I do. I say Jets suck, and everyone goes, yeah, and then I go, all right, I gotta go.
That's 3 pages of notes right here. You just covered everything. You nailed it. You know what? And you're chock full of testosterone. You feel good, and everybody agrees with you. And you, if I remember, Giants guy.
I'm a Giants fan. I am.
He's not much better.
Yeah, but the Jets, I feel like, are in a way worse situation than the Giants. As a Giants fan going into the season, it's a rebuild. We know it's a rebuild. As a Jets fan, you just got Le'Veon Bell. Your defense is pretty stacked.
You almost gave him up today.
You're kind of going into it with a different mindset, and it is just a disaster.
This is Sam Darnold's second year. It's sad that I have to ask that, but I'm pretty sure, right?
Year and a half because he got mono like a 16-year-old.
Well, other than his spleen issue, but was he the starter last year, right?
He was.
Not a Jet guy, but I was like, oh, this is his first year. Danny Dimes' first year. Maybe.
You know, I think at the end of the day that no one's talking about, Adam Gase is just not a good coach. I mean, is anyone gonna admit this? Are we gonna just pretend like he's good with his 21-34 record?
Raise your hand. Just agree with me.
This is how it's supposed to go when you're talking football. Yeah.
This is quarterback guru. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, not a good head coach. Rex Ryan, great defensive mind. Not a great
Look at the
head
other
coach.
quarterbacks guy over with Baker Mayfield.
That's another one. Yeah, but Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield's a bust.
You think?
Well, I mean, it's very
What do you think,
early
Mike?
to say he's a bust.
Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns, hit me.
I don't know much, but Rex Ryan was a good coach.
Oh, good. I love Rex Ryan.
Everybody loves Rex Ryan.
Not as a coach.
Rex Ryan, but not as a coach.
I guess as a person. I guess Adam Sandler likes him. He was in one of his movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as a tattoo aficionado, remember when he got the Sanchez?
He was fun.
He was fun.
He was fun, and he was great. You know, he's great when you see him on TV, but as a coach, unbelievable defensive coordinator. What he did in Baltimore, incredible.
And the Jets D. I mean, he came in and
incredible.
that
But
D
as a
was
head
phenomenal.
coach, it's iffy.
Not working
It's
for
iffy,
you.
you know?
There was a time I thought he was going to go to the Chiefs. I think when they were looking for Andy Reid and he was available, I was like, ooh, I like him. He's going to tell me to go get an effing snack. I forgot to tell you we don't swear on this program. It's very...
Did I?
Oh,
No.
I could hear you muttering curses under your breath. No. I just realized I forgot
I
to tell
dropped
you.
one last time.
I
made it. I got so close. There was only like 4 minutes left.
Do you know that's
and
the
it
only
just
time I've
happened.
dropped the F-bomb is when I asked how old you were and he said 32 and I went, oops. Hope my kids weren't watching. All right, I really had, look, this is the first thing we're going to talk about. It's the trades. And here's my trade sheet. Nothing happened.
You could talk lack of trades.
Well, you know what?
Who should have traded?
You know
who
what I
should
just
not
saw
have traded?
at the traffic light while I was trying to get here? Waiver wire. Jets star Jamal Adams rips GM on Twitter for shopping him around before the deadline.
And Le'Veon Bell. They're not happy about the Le'Veon Bell either.
Like, can they just say, oh, that wasn't us, that was the rumor mill?
They will. Eventually they will.
You know that they were shopping him around.
They were definitely shopping him around. But no one's going to take Le'Veon Bell's contract.
No,
Nobody.
No, and people are ripping the Chiefs right now for not because they got like $20 million in cap room. But next year we got to pay everybody.
Exactly. You can't. Yeah.
We can't.
And Mahomes hasn't gotten a big contract yet.
No.
And that's gonna
Neither
be
has
the biggest.
I don't
NFL
think Kelsey
contract ever
has.
signed.
Tyreek Hill hasn't gotten one.
can't.
These are all football players, Mike. They all play in the professional football league
But
known
they play
as the
for
NFL.
Kansas City. No one heard of him until like 2 years ago.
Not a big
so.
market. I'm gonna curse it, Kenny again. Can you cut his mic, please, Sally? But Tyler Eifert was out there. Kenyon Drake was like the biggest move this week.
Well, and then the Giants got the defensive
Leonard
line.
Williams, yeah. You never see, have they done a New York Jets to Giants move?
No. This
Is that,
I
somebody
don't
said
know
first
if this-
trade?
I
Is
don't
that,
know if it's the first of all time, but it's the first I've heard of.
Yeah, it was.
But the two teams that are in lose now mode are the only two teams that really made significant trades.
And they were in the
San
headline.
Francisco
Like,
got Emmanuel
and Cardinals, right? The
Sanders.
Cardinals went after somebody.
The Cardinals got Drake.
God, Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
Right, sorry. You upset me. I'll throw your mic around.
Can I ask a really dumb question?
There's no such thing as a
There
dumb
is no-
question here, Mike.
Are we mid-season or now the season has just started, right? Or about to start?
We are halfway through the season.
We're halfway
Are you
through
looking
the
at my?
season.
No, you weren't looking at my notes because right here,
No.
we're going to do a little mid-season review.
Okay.
I hope you studied.
Right. And they do trades in the middle of the season?
It
is the
ended
trade
today.
deadline.
That's why we're talking today. You can
Right.
trade up until today at
Today.
4:00.
And nothing happened.
Nothing.
So everyone's staying home.
Nothing at the
Everyone's
deadline. A
staying
couple of
home.
things happened in the lead up: the Kenyon Drake, the Leonard Williams.
There was a
but
lot of excitement because there was a lot of big names out there.
there were live internet shows happening that I
Nobody
kept
went
track of,
anywhere.
and I could just come on at 6:30 say nothing happened. Moving on.
See, people can learn about football through me.
You're a conduit.
Right.
You're the everyman in our.
It's a whole new audience.
It's a.
Every
You're
husband,
welcome,
Every
Steve
husband turns to their
Belanger.
wife. They're like, "Come on, come here. You're gonna listen."
I told
to
you
this
you don't
guy
need
today.
to know football to watch
See,
a show. Look at this
guy is
guy.
Mike. Listen to Mike.
We're going to
You
explain.
brought a whole new audience into
We have 100 years of NFL football to explain to Mike in the next 47 minutes. So anyway, they used to play with these leather helmets and an actual pig back in Indian times. No, that's not true. Mike and I met
In the green room.
In the green
Well,
room.
no. We met crossing the street to go
This
to
sounds
the...
creepy already.
I
Oh,
met
wait,
you
wait.
as I was... Yeah, okay, you say it.
This is fate. I was on my way to meet Kenny Ryan at the Carrie Caravis show in Babylon.
right. Yes.
And I was alone, and I was crossing the street, and I met my first Comedians on Football fan, Dun, da, da, da. Actually, I think it was a Long Island Explained thing, right? There was a Roach
I was
connection.
just said I know your podcast. I said, oh, I know the one you do with Roach, and I know the
get that all
football
the
one.
time.
And I stood outside. I had to like run there. Stood outside. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. And then he's late. I was like, what happened? He's like, I had to have a PBR.
Oh, it was delicious.
I was like, well at least you're classy.
I saw him about 30 minutes before showtime, and then we walked into the theater together, and then I got the message, be there in 30. I was like, I am going to go have that PBR. I can do it. And then I'll run back, and we were both sweaty. Yes, and then we met here in the green room.
Yes, correct.
Yes. And we had a couple of shows. Was it last weekend? I don't even remember. They all
we
blur
had one
together.
over here, and then we had one where we did both rooms.
Yes.
We were just all over the place, weren't we?
Can I tell?
Mike performs at every time I turn on his Instagram, Facebook. I'm
He's
like,
everywhere.
He's in a laundromat today. Where is he setting these things up?
There's always like
The
a weird,
Salvation Army has a room in the back for Mike to do
one of-
stand up.
in one of those pictures. It did. It looked like a soup
Hey, it's a
kitchen.
free show, Kenny.
A show's a show, but I'm like,
He has a microphone, and there are cans of soup behind him. What is happening here?
I need to get staged. I'm like, if you talk to Mike, he's setting up milk crates down in the corner. It's up in the South Bronx. It's during the sun's up, so you'll be.
There are two types of comedians. There are the Mike Nicolias, who he was performing at the Dairy Mart when I pulled up in my car, and I sit at home and I just write in peace and quiet, and I hone my bits, and then I come here, and some of them work, some of them don't. Mike will, you test it till it's dead in the ground in front of anyone.
You know what though, Mike? What I respect is that the rest of the comics like us are like, oh, how come Mike didn't invite me to the laundromat? I would have done the show at the laundromat.
When did that start? 11 a.m. in the city on a Wednesday? I could have made that.
Mike, the next time you're at the laundromat, I got to do my whites on Tuesday anyway. You let me know.
Is that your bit? Whites on Tuesday?
Whites on Tuesday are is my bit.
God,
Except for I'm not. You can't say it like that.
No, we're very woke.
I kind of naturally look racist, so we don't say things like that.
You know, we're at the half point of the season. I'm glad you brought it up because I was looking at some footage from earlier in the season and a couple of the preseason ones where I was tan and fit. And then I look today, I'm bloated and pasty. I'm in mid-season form.
You were tan and fit.
I was tan. Sally, back me up.
You were
5
tan and
weeks ago?
fit.
What are we talking? 5 weeks?
No,
ago?
9 weeks. This show's been on since the preseason, so I'm going to go. 10,
Oh, I thought
10,
you meant
11
like
weeks.
10 years ago. Sorry.
All right.
My mistake.
Ooh, a burn.
I need. Where's my intern? Intern, can you escort Sally out? You're now running the board. That'd be great.
Good
Thank
burn.
you. A solid burn from the booth.
That is a
Wasn't
good burn.
expecting
Your
that.
intern's good. He got me a coffee.
You got your coffee? Did you? Oh, you were tardy.
I was tardy. I was late. I took a cab instead of an Uber, and they really go the long way.
Oh,
I'll tell
where'd
that
you
much.
take a cab from?
The train station.
You could have messaged me for a ride, duh.
I know.
I wasn't
but
sure what you were doing. I should have.
are you gonna
I
do?
should have asked. I should
What
have
are you
asked.
gonna do?
Yeah.
You're more grown up than I am. You know that.
Well, that's debatable. Oh, this is going to be good. We're going to take a brief break in our football talk, which hasn't happened in about 9 minutes, to cover a topic we've been covering here on Comedians on Football for the last 3 weeks. Quickly, Mike Nicolia, speed round. Graham cracker, cookie or cracker?
Cookie.
Kenny?
Cookie. Yeah.
This is the first time
People
both-
call it a cracker?
all my cracker guests have been calling it a cracker.
Well, Graham, a cracker is a cracker, which out of context sounds very racist, but
I don't
again,
I'm just gonna
graham cracker. That is graham cracker's dessert. Thank
Would
you.
you put a graham cracker in soup?
No. Would you speak into your microphone?
Would you put a graham cracker in soup?
No, hey,
That it's not
I
a
am on the
cracker.
cookie train. I say, what about animal crackers?
Are cookies?
Cookies.
There are people who have been arguing that they're crackers.
No,
I know.
ridiculous.
wrong. How dare?
Back to some football. We don't talk about college football at all on the show because I don't know anything about it. Don't watch
No,
it.
me neither.
I don't follow it. But a big ruling today on the NCAA. The college guys can now make money off their likenesses, their names, and their persona.
I like it.
They could not do that before.
I like it.
So this multi-billion-dollar industry.
Well, everybody's losing their mind because they used to love the NCAA football
And then they
video
took
game.
the real-
that now it's allowed to come
It's
back.
like the
so
quarterback for
people are happy
Alabama is
about
number
that.
34, Kenny.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Well,
it
no,
was
they
that-
just stopped making it for like the last
they
3 or
stopped
4
making it.
years. Yeah, they didn't even waste.
Didn't
their
they do
time
one
with
year
it.
that was generic though, and everybody
So,
was like,
yeah, people were like, "Nah, that I'm not feeling."
like when they
this."
used to every company came out with a baseball game, and it was like number 34, Drodger Lemons. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, he's a
But
good
no,
pitcher.
I don't see why not. I mean,
No.
I'm fine with it.
Were you a Madden guy?
I was a Madden guy.
What?
I was a Madden guy.
Was?
I you know what? I can't say truthfully
which one
that I
were you-
am currently.
What was the last cover that you played?
Honestly, the last one I bought was Madden 07, but my Madden.
Michael Vick?
Yeah.
I think that is Michael Vick.
My
Wow.
Play the applause sound effect.
But I remember Madden on Sega. That was my original.
My Madden 05 like almost was fully like dissipated of how many times I played that freaking game.
I don't even know who was on 05. The last one I remember is the Vic one. Everyone had that one.
Well, Mahomes was this year, and they're saying Mahomes cursed, the Madden cursed.
I don't really play it anymore.
Yeah, it's been. We used to. I think I've talked about this before. We used to play in my apartment in the city with gambling lines. So there'd be 6 of us, and the 2 guys would play. We'd set a line, and then I would bet on myself. And there was one game, I forget what happened, but instead of going, I was getting 2. And I tied it, and instead of going for the extra point, I just threw it. I knelt and took a knee to lose by 1, but covered a spread. Arguments ensued. It wasn't pretty.
Video game life.
But we haven't talked about Tecmo Bowl. We were here when we were on a Tecmo Bowl run.
Don't look at me like I am old enough to know Tecmo Bowl.
No, I'm saying you're
what is that?
Previous guest. We've talked about Tecmo Bowl.
You look me right in the eyes. I'm like, we went over my age before.
I'm not talking about. And I cursed. We're not talking about the electric football.
You're talking about the Bo Jackson,
the Bo Jackson
where he
Tecmo
could run
Bowl.
around.
Yeah.
You've seen like definitely little videos of it.
The football players looked like the Space Invaders dudes.
And they run straight.
And I think there were only like 5 of them.
Yeah, there was only like 5
you had
of
3 linemen and a wide receiver.
And if you had Bo Jackson, you automatically won.
Yeah,
because he like couldn't be stopped.
Again, arguments ensued. That was a big deal in the news today. A lot of news today, Mike. I'm sure you followed all the NFL news today.
Did anybody see Bolt wants to be in the NFL?
Who?
Usain Bolt.
Oh, really?
He said, I would join an NFL team if it was the Green Bay Packers or the New England Patriots.
Oh.
He's 33 years old.
He's that kid in the playground.
He runs a 4.2 40.
Well, he wants to keep the same colors with the Packers.
I guess.
Because he has green and
Makes
yellow.
sense.
Right.
That
Does he
makes
not?
sense.
Yeah.
Makes
okay.
sense.
I know things.
He would
Just,
would get murdered in the NFL.
No.
That first post route, good night.
Do you remember? You definitely don't remember that because I'm the oldest in the room, I think, by both of your ages. How old are you?
25.
25 and 32 is how much? Quick.
7.
57?
7. Oh, yeah.
It got close. It's close.
I'll actually be 33 in like 2 weeks.
Well, right now it's still 7.
I am 3 years away from lapping the panel. Now I want to just shoot myself. No, in the 80s, Ronaldo Nehemiah, Olympic hurdler. He was on the
49ers?
cover of Sports Illustrated. He said, I want to play football. And the Niners picked him up, and he was damn good.
Yeah, when I read the article, there was like 2 or 3 guys on there that were all right, and then there was a lot that didn't pan out.
Well, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
What are the percentages of in a real college guys trying to make it into college, right? Never mind if you're not.
But now those guys, when they came in, they were still like in their mid-20s, though, right?
Oh, how old is Hussein?
33 years old.
Don't like him either, but
I mean,
that's kind of old.
Coming into the NFL at 33.
But somebody's going to say, look at what Tyreek Hill did.
Yeah.
You know,
somebody's going to. I mean, look, we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
There's got to be a GM out there who's like, look,
we have an hour to kill, but
we'll sell jerseys. Why not? Who wouldn't go see it?
He could run, but the second he gets hit, he's done.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But that's what they said about Nehemiah, and he had a decent career. I don't remember any major injuries. Look at Tyreek Hill. I mean, that guy is nothing.
But Tyreek Hill is, 5'11"?
Yeah, not even.
Bolt's, 6'3", 6'4"? That's a big target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those little guys, they can get away with it.
Get down low.
Yeah,
And he still
absolutely.
broke his collarbone just by getting thrown down. No, I was talking about the big, not that I'm a gambler. I don't condone gambling in any way. Remember, bet with your head, not over it. But BetMGM merged or announced a big deal with Yahoo Sports.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Because last year, 2018, the Supreme Court said the federal ban on sports gambling is now gone.
Yeah.
So it's up to the states. And a lot of states, like Jersey, you can go bet on any college game, any professional sport.
Like you couldn't do that in New Jersey when it was illegal.
Well, you had to find a guy. You gotta
Everything
talk to
illegal.
My friend Vinny,
just go to Jersey.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
I've only bet on Super Bowl pool. You guys ever win a Super Bowl pool?
One time.
Tell me about it, Ken.
The boxes? You talking about
the boxes? Yeah.
I have to this day, it's been explained to me 20 times.
Go on.
I have no idea how it works.
Really?
They were like $10 for a box. I got 2 boxes. I won the fourth quarter. I think I took home like $500. I was like, this is amazing.
It's a pretty
I still don't know
simple
how I got the money, but let's
grid equation. I mean, you
I couldn't
get
figure
you get
it.
the
I just
last
said
number of.
I literally
sport.
didn't even pick out the box. I just said, here, pick me a box.
See, now here's something. And while we're talking about, thank you so much, Michael, for bringing that up. If anybody wants to buy a Thanksgiving Day box to support my son's 12U Cooperstown baseball team, I've got about 4,000 boxes left. So find me on Facebook, and I'll gladly sell you a box. It's for all 3 games.
That's what they do now? They sell gambling boxes?
I will sell anything. It's going to cost us $40,000 next year in baseball
What happened
expenses.
to kids just like, we used to just knock on doors and sell chocolate.
Well, you can't do that these days.
Which I know is kind of
Freaked
amazing
out.
when I think about it. Like when we would do it, they'd be like, "Come in." I'd be like, "No problem."
We used to,
No problem.
again, you
I
guys,
like the plastic on your couch.
my
That's
kids
very
sell
sleek.
chocolate. When I was a kid, they gave us a cardboard suitcase.
That's what
of
we had.
crap, right? You went
Yeah.
door to door like
Yeah.
a salesman.
Absolutely.
It was like an Arthur Miller play, but with kids and sadness.
No parents.
No.
You just went. Your parents were like, "Go sell it, or you don't get jerseys this year." And I'm like, "Do I need anybody to come with me?" They're like, "You're good. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it."
But how many bars of chocolate would my son have to sell to cover a $40,000 budget?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Is Cooperstown Farmingdale? Or it's Massapequa?
Cooperstown?
That's not the.
Cooperstown is where the Hall of Fame is, up in Cooperstown.
Wow, that's wow.
Closer to Canada
Yeah.
than where.
Wow.
It's a big.
I've heard
week-long
someone say
event.
Cooperstown before, though.
In farming, every
Yeah, I mean,
Graz says.
yeah, his son
says-
went there last year.
Oh.
It's the same week. It's a week-long tournament in Cooperstown that costs more than
one
my
of the-
car.
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for saying this. It's one of the most boring places you'll ever go. If you're a kid who plays baseball,
To go
it
to the
is
Hall of
the
Fame?
most boring place. My family was like, "You're gonna love it." You'd go on trips, baseball team trips. You're gonna love it. I'm like, "This is a museum. This is
It's
terrible. I just want to go outside and play catch. I don't want to be."
Oh, cool.
here."
Here's a bronze head of a guy that died.
Yeah, I was
50
like,
years
"This is
before I was
not for
born.
kids. This is for old people."
But wait, you're going to love the next room. What's in there? It's another bronze head of a guy who died 50 years ago.
That you've never heard of.
What's in the other room? No, this you're going to love. There's a dozen heads of guys that were born 50 years before those other guys we just looked at.
And then cleats that look like they're falling apart.
Yeah, and a glove that looks
It's
like it was
nonsense.
used as a hot plate.
You just
I don't know.
wait to get over so you can go play on Doubleday Field.
We're
That's
not
about
even.
it.
I've played on there. It is
Yeah,
nice.
it is a
But
nice field.
I don't think we're going to be in Cooperstown. We're not going to go to Cooperstown. We have 14 games in a week. But anyway, I have boxes available if you want them. But a box is a simple grid, and it doesn't matter what numbers you pick.
Yeah.
You just get a box, and then the numbers are added at the end once everything's sold.
And then whatever the score is, right?
Whatever the
You
score
go
is, yeah.
by-
So you can't say, oh, I'm going to pick 0-0 or 7-7 because
Gotcha.
those numbers don't get picked.
Gotcha.
You only pick a number of what box you're in. Welcome to This Is How Boxes Work on Comedians on Football. Hey,
talking baseball.
you ever been trapped in a box?
I mean, I lived in a studio apartment with my ex-girlfriend.
What about something like an escape room? You like the escape rooms, Mike?
I love them.
You love
Same
escape
thing.
rooms?
Same concept.
Look at this. We have a sponsor. Oh, they're great people. Epic Escape Rooms. They are the best escape room on Long Island. Have you ever done that one?
No.
It's in Hempstead. It's
Ah.
beautiful. It's beautiful. You got to try it. They have a whole bunch of different themes. They have a Halloween theme that's going to end this week. And if you use the special sponsor code that I'm about to give you, ERGOV19, between now and the end of the month, you get $5 off a player for every booking of 4 or more players. So visit the best escape room in Long Island, Epic Escape Rooms. And now, back to Mike Nicolia's explanation of football.
Escape. I feel like escape rooms like out in Long Island is just everyday life of living in an apartment in New York City. Like every day you go home and you're like, how am I going to escape this life? How? What do I have to do?
I want
How
to
do I get out of this?
I want to make a nice bouillabaisse, but I got to move the laundry. I got to somehow figure out how to get the cat litter box up into the closet.
every day. If you live in the city, that's an escape room every day. The subway, it's another escape room every time you're in there.
And then there's a creepy guy, and you got to figure out, is this part of it?
Exactly.
Is it a clue? Oh, what should
That's
I
why
do?
friends are like, "Oh, we're going to escape room. You pay this much." I'm like, "Dude, let's just take the subway. It's $2.75, one swipe. We'll just go to the Bronx, come back. We'll see if we make it." That's pretty
Kenny's
much.
sitting on the L train going, oh, this guy's rubbing up against me. Is that a clue? Oh, he feels circumcised. I just don't know what to do here.
I played escape room on my Alexa, which I don't recommend to anybody.
Wait, what is that a thing you can do?
You can. You could add the game to your little library on Alexa, and it'll like talk you through the whole thing. I was ready to get I was gonna say, Alexa, buy me a sledgehammer on Amazon so I can break you.
For those of you listening at home, good luck enjoying your new sledgehammer that Mike just ordered over your Alexa. That's why you should use headphones. Is it really a game you can play on that thing?
Yeah, and it's nauseating because it's all audio. It's not visual. You have to listen to, and it's the same Alexa voice
Yes.
for the entire time.
Would you like to play a game?
Exactly.
That's a film from the 80s. That's called
I just
Warden.
had a new roommate move in, and he has the Alexa in his room. And I came home, and I was like, hey, are you in your room? He's like, no. I was like, is it cool if I go in there and lower the TV? He's like, I got it. And then all of a sudden, the TV turned off, and I was like, you just said you weren't home. He's like, no, I did it through Alexa. I was like, get it out of my apartment. Get it out. Get it out
Get
now.
this demon out.
Are you watching me right now? Get it out. Get it out. You can keep the cat. Get the Alexa out.
Shapeshifter.
I wish there was a camera on Kenny when he realized, wait, something's been listening to me having my special me time.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
Do you bang your own head against the wall? Anyway, Mike, let's talk football. All right, let's talk about the games this week. Did you watch any football this week, bro? That's okay.
I just know that the Jets always lose, and somehow the Pats always win.
Correct.
So
one more. Give me one more team that won this week, and you win.
Did you read that on a Snapple cap? That may be on a Snapple cap.
Who's better, Darnold or Danny Dimes? Who would you rather have?
Long run, Darnold.
Really? Even with that tricky screen?
This season's a wash for him. I think this season's a wash. You just have to look at it like it's a wash.
You don't think Jones has it? He's your boy.
We'll see. I think they're both similar, but I think in the long run, you got to see their second years because I don't think
this is Darnold's.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to look at this year as a wash for Darnold. So next year would technically be a second year, and then when you look at Danny Dimes next year, you got to see how it goes. Because a lot of guys come in their first year and they dominate.
But I'm saying no. But then there's the Deshaun Watson and the kid in Baltimore.
Exactly.
Lamar Jackson. Like they were shaky. And then they figured out the system and they blew up.
And you know where you don't see them all the time? In commercials. You know who you're seeing in commercials all the time? Baker Mayfield. And that's why when he came in, he had a good season last year. Baker Mayfield. And he has done way worse this year, and he's gotten more weapons around him. And I just think that his head's not in the game. I think those guys spent the whole summer studying the playbooks, doing what they had to do, and I think you see him in all these commercials, all these appearances.
Can we talk about those commercials?
Things.
I don't understand it.
He lives in the stadium?
He lives in the stadium. He's cutting the grass.
I don't get it.
And then,
his girlfriend's very needy.
You kind of buy into the premise, okay, he's hosting people at his house. And as they're leaving, he's saying goodbye. And as soon as they're gone, this is the fan base. He looks around and goes, oh, pigs. You're supposed to suck up to the fans.
That's
He's getting more airtime than Peyton Manning got. And Peyton Manning had won Super Bowls, MVPs, done all these things. It's just
that Peyton Manning's getting now, and Peyton Manning's going to show. He's what happened to what's his name? Is he in the booth yet? Gronk.
He every once in a while he'll do like a Monday night or a Thursday night.
Wasn't he going to be on the Fox pregame?
He's done a couple of them.
Because I don't watch any pregame.
He's done a couple of them.
Is he a train wreck?
It's not easy to watch. It's not easy to watch. It's
also like. It's like me standing next to you on a stage.
But he's slimmed down a lot.
Thank you.
He's an animal. I've been at the same party as Gronk.
Really?
I went to
now we've got something.
I am elevating you pre-NFL.
He's like, Kenny, get out. Now we've got something.
How are you at a party with Gronk? Well, you know what?
How are you not at a party with Gronk?
It was not on purpose because
never is.
Still,
did you know at the time?
No. Well, yeah, no, I knew because everyone was saying that's Gronk, and at the time
you
I'm like,
great, I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
They're like, I'm like, who?
Oh, wow, we got one.
And they go, he's on the Pats. I'm like, oh, cool. I was at the Grand Oasis.
Was there another thing they said? And the Pat stands for Patriots.
Right? No, I knew. I don't know.
Okay, good.
I was at the Grand Oasis in Cancun, March 2016, and he was at the Victoria's Secret party, which was like up next to the hotel.
Right on brand.
I ended up there on accident. I woke up. There was pink sunglasses on me. I had a pink necklace on.
Sounds like it's time for an intervention.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a Gronk party.
That was my senior year of college, and, it was go big or go home. So
I feel like he went home and talked to his friends and were like, yeah, man, I woke up, but I was partying with this guy. He was huge. I think he played football or something, because that's how you would wake up if you partied with Gronk.
Absolutely.
You would wake up like that.
Now, is Gronk on a podcast somewhere telling this story? I don't know. I woke up to this guy sitting with a comic, he had glasses on. I was just going through my financial
I had to
statements.
tell him that the Pats stands for Patriots. It was very...
He was like, I want to be a comedian. Can you help me? I don't know what happened, man.
Hey, buddy, wake up. And could you tell me how I get some stage time at the laundromat?
Does he come back, though?
That's somewhere on my list. That's there. I said earlier that I thought he might. Now I do not.
I do not think so. I think
Not
he
the
would
way
have been back
slimmed
by now.
down. He could have quietly stayed in shape, but
Yeah.
he just looks like
I think he's done.
How old is this guy?
it's gonna make me sad. But 30, not 30,
30,
29?
31.
Why is he done? He's injured?
A lot of injuries.
He
though.
A lot
gets
of
injured
injuries,
like all the time.
That's the kind of the new thing
you
in
know?
the NFL. I mean, Calvin Johnson, Marshawn Lynch, they were all 30, 31.
They don't
It's
want
one,
them-
You can only play for so long.
As Chris
I
Roach
mean,
said, they don't want that brain disease.
Yeah, turn to mush.
I know stuff about football. Brett Favre was there till the very end.
Yeah.
I want to be Mike Nicolia's girlfriend. I know things about the bedroom. I know.
But
it's there.
Brett Favre is one of those guys that I've had conversations with people that when we talk about CTE on like big name players, they're like, "What about Brett Favre?" I'm like,
You
I
think
don't know. Like when you see him in interviews, every once in a while, like he'll have a look or something where you're like, that's
Was it every time you see that Lee Jeans ad?
Yeah, like he's still pushing the Levi jeans, and we're like, that's over with. Like I think he's.
But all right, big name. When I sat with Emmitt Smith, dude, as sharp as a tack.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
mean,
nobody took more hits than him.
Yeah,
right.
I think it all just depends, you know.
I can't read that. Oh, holy. What's it say? Oh no.
We don't curse on this podcast,
No,
so it
but
has to be deleted.
Mike Nicolia. You can curse in the comments. The Mike Nicolia football fans are coming out in
But Emmitt
droves.
Smith didn't have a lot of concussions. I don't feel like. Like I don't ever remember really. But then again, in the '90s, I don't remember anybody getting.
Nobody had a concussion.
Yeah, they all had them, but you just played with them. They're like, take a Tylenol, you'll be fine.
I got one in college. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, okay, is it good? What do you do? Take
Yeah,
it out? I don't know.
No one cares.
No
No
one
one's
cares.
like, you're fine.
No one cared.
It's like when I was a kid. I was like, Mom, I'm sick. She's like, I have work. Take a Tylenol. You'll be fine. That's basically was
Rub
the
some
NFL
dirt on
way.
it. You didn't get to stay home and watch Price is Right? with a
No,
whoopee?
never,
Yeah?
never.
I watched a lot of Price is Right. I just stayed home. All right, other games this weekend that were very important. The Chiefs, they lost. But I consider that a moral victory. Did you watch the game? Sunday night game? You were working.
I didn't have anybody playing in it, so I didn't care.
Selfish.
I didn't care. I can't stand the Packers.
Dude,
I just can't stand them. And without Patrick Mahomes, I'm back to I can't stand Kansas City.
in some of the preseason stuff I was looking at, they were like, "Oh, this is the game to watch." Epic struggle between
Pats
two great
Chiefs will be the
quarterbacks.
game. Will be the game to watch. I think at the end of
Pats
the season.
Chiefs, yes, when
Pats
everybody's
Chiefs.
hopefully.
I think Baltimore's going to
healthy.
beat the Patriots this week. I said it. You heard it first. This
This is the first time they've played an opponent
They have trouble stopping the rush
of anything. Yeah,
and that's all they do is rush.
And that dude is just going to run right down the gut. They had, even against the Browns this week, everybody says, oh, they blew them out 27-13. That game was 17-0 in the blink of an eye thanks to three
and what's
turnovers
he rushed
in a
for
row.
120 yards on
Nick
20 carries or something like
and
that.
he fumbled twice.
Yeah.
He had one 60-yard run where they knocked it out of his hand at the 5-yard line. I think they're in for some trouble. All right. Here's one for you. Niners, very good this year. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
I'm not aware,
They're
but I know
set-
who the Niners are.
Thank you. What town are they in?
The 49ers are in some San Francisco.
Nice.
Yeah.
My man.
Come on, not completely.
The phones are blowing up, and we're not going to answer them because we don't take calls on the show. But they're all big Mike.
If I
Nicolia
play fantasy, will I learn about football or just
100%.
get robbed?
This is no joke.
in my league, you're going to learn a lot.
I used to date someone, and I wanted to watch football every Sunday, and it would drive her crazy. So DraftKings came out, and I was like, "Look, try
head-to-head with it?
this DraftKings." I put money in it, and I was like, "Just try it. Just pick some players." So she picked the players, and she ended up coming in like second place, but got so excited because she was so close in the end. And the closer the score was, the more I was like, "You are a genius, Kenny." And after
it got her
that,
into it.
every
It got
Don't
her-
take
week,
dating advice from
every
Mike, right?
week she did DraftKings after that, and I never got bothered. I got to watch every football game to the point where she was like, "You have to put the football game on." I'm like, "I don't have players playing." She's like, "I have players playing." I'm like, "You have players playing with my money on my DraftKings, so you
like
don't
that-
have anybody playing."
Things took a turn in that.
Oh, they took a
relationship.
quick
You got
turn.
that jackpot though, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you better have. Imagine she was like, "Nope, mine."
But Mike, you don't even know football teams from like starter pullovers. You didn't have a starter pullover as a kid.
No, I know like the general. It's like there's like a color chart, and it's like, that's pink, that's purple. Whereas people know more advanced colors, where it's like that's magenta, that's cyan. You know what I
So
mean?
you know here, but you don't
not
dig
here.
deep.
I know surface football.
See, that
I
was
think
how
that's a
I
good way to put it.
first learned about other football teams was from starter pullover jackets because everyone had a starter pullover jacket, but no one had the team that they rooted for. It
Yeah.
was the weirdest. It was like I don't know what was happening where like they were sending them out and they were like, "Oh, New York Giants, send that to San Jose." Like they just everyone had a
But it's
starter
a smart
pullover.
move.
Nobody had the team that they rooted
In Massachusetts, everybody had a Patriots jacket.
for. Really?
and
You had the starter Patriots? You couldn't find a Giants or
I don't
Jets
think
one.
starter existed when I was a child.
there
but
you go.
I did have some tough skins with a little logo on.
I had like a San Jose Sharks one. I didn't even know
I
who
had
the
a San
team
Jose-
was.
The Sharks hat was big because they were the first like big NHL expansion. It was
And then
exciting.
Mighty Ducks, everybody had because we grew up. Well, you're a little bit younger than me, but growing up with the Mighty Ducks, and then when they became an actual team, everybody owned the jersey.
The
You know what I
Mighty
love?
Ducks came out when I was 37 years old.
I love the game Blitz.
Oh, I remember that one. It was all hard hitting. It was like the XFL of video
Hard
games,
hitting.
right?
You created a player and gave him anabolic steroids to make him better.
Hang
It
on.
was insane.
Excellent.
It
point.
was insane.
Excellent point you bring up because you know what never has anabolic
He's laughing
steroids.
because he knows I'm telling the
Never
truth.
has anabolic steroids or anything artificial. It's our good friends over at Zorns of Bethpage. And they do it the old-fashioned way. Everything is made by hand, fresh, right on the premises. And they never use any preservatives or artificial flavoring. Just the same ingredients you would use in your own kitchen. Zorns of Bethpage is home to grade A poultry, time-honored traditions, and family recipes. And if you haven't visited their new store yet, please do. It's located at the same location, 4321 Hempstead Turnpike in Bethpage, just west of the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. The new store features old traditions with new beginnings. And if you plan on having a Halloween party for the kids this October, check out the great Halloween dinner special they have going on right now. Their special, Treats, No Tricks, Halloween dinner for 6 kids is a kid-friendly meal you can feel good about serving. It's 2 pounds of sesame chicken strips, 24 corn nuggets, 3 pounds of mac and cheese, and a 2-liter soda. All for just $49.99. Zorns of Bethpage is great if you're feeding just a few or a whole household. You can't go wrong with good old Zorns of Bethpage deliciousness. So check out Zorns of Bethpage today. Everybody loves that Zorns of Bethpage. You guys like the Zorns?
Love it.
Oh my
Love
god!
Zorns.
Oh my god! Look, I'm looking at the commercial on delay right now. God, I may stop and get some of that on the way home. And there's such good people over there. And a few weeks ago, I wished my best friend Pat Mahomes a happy birthday. This week, we'll throw a birthday shout out to Merrill Zorn, the owner of Zorns of Bethpage, and sponsors not this, but also my other podcast, Long Island Explained, that I do with the lovely Chris Roach. Oh, on that show, we talk about a different Long Island topic every week. Check us out this week. We have a 2-part Haunted Long Island episode. Ooh.
Fancy.
All the spooky supernatural places that Chris likes to talk about and scare me a little bit. So it was kind of fun. Check out Long Island Explained. Check out Zorns of Bethpage. And now, back to our football action. All right, we were talking about the Niners and the Patriots. I saw a little meme that had a picture from the movie with Seth Rogen and Zac Efron, where they both had their shirts off, the young taut man and big heavy set Seth Rogen.
Neighbors?
Neighbors. And of course, Seth Rogen was the 49ers at 7-0 undefeated, and Zac Efron was the Patriots at 8-0 undefeated. But which team has played the easiest schedule? Let me say that.
Patriots by far.
By far. They have
It's not
played
even a-
teams with a winning percentage.
It's
I figured out the math of 34%.
It's pathetic.
At least the Niners have played a couple of good teams, like Carolina with a winning record. They beat the Rams. Look at the people that the Patriots
They're
have
more
played.
dangerous than the Patriots are.
Their stars always align, huh?
The Patriots?
Yeah, like always.
See, he barely knows football. Barely was able to find his way to the studio today, and yet even he knows that the Patriots just
might control the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't
you
know.
Robert
There's
Kraft?
some Illuminati stuff going on. I'm not sure, man.
Robert Kraft. If there is an Illuminati, Robert Kraft is definitely in it. Why he buys $59 rub and tugs?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Robert Kraft.
That one you know, right? You know that.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
That story transcends football and all.
You don't
of
have to be a
mankind.
football fan to know that story.
Hey, you know what? You don't have to be a football fan to love a good value. $59.
It is kind of funny if you're not a football fan, you're like, old guy got a rub and tug. What's the news here? Like,
well, it's billionaire gets
oh well, in that case,
at a strip mall. I mean, like, just
no, I get it. But
what does he go to the strip mall in? Is it like a Hummer?
He probably
that was a wonderful pun on my part that I was not.
If you're a billionaire, you don't want to get caught. He's probably rolling in like a Honda Civic if he's trying to play it smooth.
Right.
But like, do you watch Succession on Showtime? Those people always travel with a posse.
Yeah.
Like they never carry a bag.
And then Tom Brady was just in something coming out on Netflix where there's like a joke. He goes to like a massage parlor. And he was like, no, it wasn't meant as like a joke against Kraft, and that's how everybody's taking it.
And then suddenly a week later, there's all these, Brady is retiring after this season.
Yep.
They've said he might go somewhere else. Do you think he'll do that?
No.
I can't imagine him not being the quarterback for the Pats.
No,
like
I don't
just never
see it
leaving.
happening.
Like playing into his 50s.
Like doing a Brett Favre thing where you go to Minnesota, you go to the Jets.
Or
no.
Joe Montana. He came from the Niners. He played for the Chiefs. For
the other thing that you think of, too, is, when Brett Favre went to the Jets, they kind of had a decent team. When he went to the Vikings, they had a decent team. Where is Tom Brady going to go that everything is already set up and they don't have a quarterback? There's no team out there like that right now.
No.
There's just, I mean, maybe Chicago with their defense, but they don't have the offensive weapons in line to bring in a Tom Brady.
Thank you. Again, Kenny is bringing up all my hot topics today. Let's talk Mitch Trubisky.
Gotta go.
They're saying to sit him. Like, to bring
Could you
in
imagine
veteran
being-
journeyman Chase Daniel, a former Chief.
Could you imagine being the GM that passed up on Patrick Mahomes and Watson to take Trubisky from North Carolina?
They wanted a nice little pocket passer. It did not work out. But why would you ever, like, you're what are they, 3-4? Your season
with
is
one
not,
of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah,
No question about it.
But
at
they're on the field too long now.
That's
they're on
the
the field
problem.
for 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's everyone. When you look at their rankings, they're not ranked as high, but in general, it's one of the top 3-4 defenses in the league. They're just constantly on the field.
But they're saying put in Chase Daniel. He's like 34-year-old like backup. Like that's not what you want to do.
I mean,
in your
at
season.
this rate, though, is like, what do you do? You took this kid.
But you
was
got
he
you
first
ride him out.
overall or
No, he wasn't first overall.
top
He was,
5, right?
He might have been the first quarterback.
First
taken
quarterback.
that year,
I mean,
yeah.
what do you do? What do you do now? When you draft a quarterback that high, I mean, that is
And
5-6
him
years
right away.
worth of.
Yeah, that's a commitment.
And they didn't go out and try and get Cam Newton.
Mike Nicolia was taken second in his round.
There you go.
Now he's
Do you
playing-
do any fantasy football?
Zilch, man.
We're gonna
Fantasy sports?
get you some fantasy
Are
football.
we on the wrong sport? What do you follow a sport?
Nah, man. I just, I don't know.
He does do 17 stand-up gigs a day. So It
right.
makes it kind
a
of
lot of
difficult.
stand-up, and then, like, I was raised old school Italian, and I'll be honest with you, I did not grow up in a household that was based off of sports. I told you coming into this podcast, I was like, I don't know. I was like, we can make fun of my lack of knowledge, because I actually do want to
we would
learn.
never do that.
He's like, you want to tackle meatballs and lasagna? I'll go head-to-head with
Oh,
you
that's it.
anytime.
I'll debate on that. I want to learn more about football because I always feel left out. You know, I'll mess around and I'll buy a box
Let
for.
me be your Obi-Wan. Look,
Sure.
look at all the notes.
I'll buy a box for the Super Bowl, but I'd like to know more.
Well,
yeah,
that's just a gambling problem.
Yeah, you
That's
got
pretty
it.
obvious.
You just got to do one of the leagues.
Yeah.
I'm in a league. My friend M, she's in it, and she's like, "Will you shout out my fantasy team?" I was like, "I will shout out how horrific. Every
Once again,
week
the
she's
views
like, "Who
expressed on
should
this
I
program-
take?" And I try to like help her out. And then,
What's
like
the name
this
of her
week,
team?
might as well call me Miami.
That's
Just
pretty good.
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty spot on.
Pretty good.
Pretty spot on. I think she's got one win. But everybody I tell her to take, like I take Edmonds this week,
Yep.
the running back from
Yes.
Arizona, got hurt. I'm like, you're just a football
But
mush.
he had a big week last.
But he had a
That's-
huge week last. I'm like, you're kind of a
chasing.
football mush.
You're always chasing.
You know?
All right, here was my favorite part of the weekend in the Bears-Charger game. I've mentioned on the show before several things about Phillip Rivers that I don't care for because he's a little crybaby. And Danny Trevathan, after a big defensive stand for the Bears, started doing this on the field. And all of a sudden, Phillip Rivers went... He started going at him. And then there was another defensive play. Who's the guy? Raquan Smith. Celebrated. They held him. Big stand. He's jumping in the air. And Phillip Rivers comes in and lays a shoulder into him. That's smart. And then he went over and yelled at Anthony Lynn on the sidelines. I love when Phillip Rivers is sad.
He's a very angry guy, but you got to take into content he's got 37 children.
He does.
I'd be
It's
pretty
got the
angry
big
too if I
family.
had 37
like,
children.
but
you
and
know
this
what I
is
mean?
your 3 hours of
Is
Yeah,
that an
this is your-
exaggerated number, or that's a
No,
real number?
it's up there. What's he up to? 10? He's up there.
I'm almost sure it's double digits.
Competes with Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy has 8 kids.
Yeah,
I
but
think not.
Eddie Murphy's got
Yeah.
like 15 years on Philip Rivers.
Oh, easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Eddie Murphy's enjoying it. I think
So
Philip Rivers
Phillip
only
Rivers
had
gets-
the coitus 11 times.
Yeah, he gets 3 free hours a day.
He's super.
That's
He's
it.
super religious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think he had all the kids through a hole in the sheet. I hope.
We can't curse, and you could drop lines like that.
I hope it
Okay,
was
sure.
like my Kansas City Chiefs sheets that I have at home. He just pokes a little hole in the ear hole of the helmet.
Yeah,
Anywho,
I think he's up to like anywhere between like 10 and 12.
who was
kids.
the Jets cornerback that had so many kids he couldn't remember him?
Then he got a vasectomy and still got someone pregnant.
No.
Yes, that is talent. That is.
Or
He should have been voted to the Pro Bowl.
Let me
for that.
venture out this theory. Perhaps he lied about the vasectomy.
Could be that too. Could be that
But,
too.
well,
We need to repopulate the Earth if there's an apocalypse.
That's true.
That's my stance on
and
that.
it would start with those two guys. Those two guys right there. I mean,
I'll share this with you two and our listening audience. I've had myself the old snip, and they make you got to like, shake out the tube.
Okay.
So you got to empty out the well.
These are things I
Right.
get to look forward to.
Oh yeah,
This is great.
And they kept testing me, and they're like, nope, still working. I'm like, really? Did the plumber miss something? Like,
Right.
But after a while, now we're shooting blanks. And I don't
Just
know.
can't imagine a doctor going, all right, knock another one out.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
come back. You got to come back next week.
the guys who don't have kids and aren't married, like, is it normal to get that? Like at 32 years old, if I'm like, I don't want to have kids, am I like rude for getting that done?
That's that in the men's when there used to be like magazines. I don't know if you guys remember magazines.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
print
caught the
them.
back, I
I've
caught the
seen
back end of
pictures
those.
of them on
pictures
the
of
internet.
magazines.
I caught the back end of that.
When there were like Details and Esquire and all these men's magazines, at least once a year there was the big article about, oh, I'm 33 and I don't want children. Should I have a vasectomy? I'm like, why? Because you don't want to wear the.
Because we're lazy.
Okay.
There's lots
Right.
of. There's all sorts of reasons we can't say on here. Okay.
I don't know how we ventured. Sally, how did we?
You can
venture
reverse
down
it
this
though, can't
rabbit
you?
hole?
Can't you reverse it?
I can't. I'm too late.
It is reversible.
It is it.
Yeah.
It is reversible.
My brother-in-law got it. Yeah.
And he got it
He got it
Unvasected?
done.
Yeah, you could get it done, and then
But
I think.
I've been told that it's reversible. Yeah.
I think it is reversible.
Huh. I better not fall asleep. Make sure nobody does that.
Mike,
to
you
me.
just give it a whirl. Let me know, and then we'll see you reverse it.
I'm all right.
One of us has to do it here. I mean, obviously. Go
hey.
get yours reversed. See what happens, and let us know.
Well, honey, you're not going to believe what they're making me do at work. Can you imagine? Just walking in with the ice pack on my crotch. Guess what happened at work today?
I got it reversed.
Strangest thing. I went in for a checkup, and the knife fell right into me and reversed the circumcision. Next week, the New York Football Jets are favored in a football game. Do you know what that means?
Favored?
That means they are the favorite to win the football game. The New York Football Jets, again, breaking news, are favored to win a football game against.
They're gonna lose to the Miami
I
Dolphins.
really think they might, which is going to bum me out because I'm really looking forward to that Week 15 matchup between the 0-15 Dolphins. No, it's Week 14. One
the
of those.
Dolphins,
The
Bengals?
0-14 Dolphins versus the 0-14 Bengals. I think that'll be a great game.
I think the Dolphins are going to beat the Jets.
I think they
And
are
I
too.
think if they beat the Jets,
Oh, that was
Gase
gonna
better
break
lose his job.
Well, he didn't help his own cause this week by
No.
putting everybody up on the chopping block.
yeah, it's not good.
We're a good team. We have a lot of faith in our team.
now-
Oh, you want this guy? How about this guy? Would you like him? All of a sudden, he turned into a
But
chandelier
now
salesman.
he didn't want Bell, or was it the GM that didn't want Bell? There was one of them. I don't know if it was him or the GM, but one of them didn't really want Bell. They were like, the contract's too high. We're going to
Yeah.
regret this. Yada 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 yada. And you could see he's not really
But
using
that deal is not. I don't think the problem. I don't know what the problem is. It's
guaranteed
coaching.
money. No one's going to pick it up with all that guaranteed
Yeah,
money.
now they're kind of locked in.
Yeah, they're locked in. He's not going anywhere.
And as you said, the Patriots have an actual opponent in Sunday Night Football. Those
Coming
Baltimore
off a
Ravens.
bye week.
The Ravens, yeah, they're rested.
Coming off a bye week.
He looks good. I picked that.
Here's my unseasoned prediction. The Jets are going to win until the third quarter.
All right.
That is that's some
works.
solid. That's some solid prognostication, my friend. I think that's.
And I think the Giants upset the Cowboys.
I don't.
I see John Earhart's name popped up on my thing. He's a huge Cowboys fan, but he's also a
I think you got
Bengals
the
fan. He's
dyslexia.
one
I
of
think
those.
you said words, but the words you were trying to say was, "I'm going to be upset by my Giants playing the Cowboys this
Giants
weekend."
upset the Cowboys on Monday.
Really? What's the line on that? Let's look.
I don't know what the line is.
Let me tell you. Cowboys are only -7, but it's in New York. That's a tough one. The Bills are 9.5-point favorites over the Redskins.
I could see that.
Carla Okerson, a little shout out to her. Her Philadelphia Eagles took out Mike Keegan's Buffalo Bills this weekend. As I put up on the Facebook, that wasn't a pleasant household to be in, I'm sure.
I mean, the Bills are good for what they are.
Yeah.
They're still a young team, young quarterback, but they're not.
I think
they're not
they'll
going to
make
win
the
the
playoffs.
division. They're not.
It's a weak AFC
Yeah,
this year.
yeah,
They'll
they're
make
not
the playoffs.
Great. They're a first-round knockout in the playoffs.
Hopefully they play the Chiefs. That'd be great. Because I know we're not getting home field. Things are not going on.
I hope they don't rush Mahomes back. If they rush Mahomes back and he gets hurt again, your season is over.
But they showed him in the pregame warm-ups, like dancing and like taking LeBron, like jump back shot.
I mean, he's the most exciting. I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm a Giants fan. But as a football fan, he's
fun to
the
watch.
most exciting quarterback to watch. Him and Deshaun Watson are the two most exciting quarterbacks to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Watson was ridiculous this week. He got kicked in the face, still scored a touchdown.
Let's talk about that play. That was crazy. So the quarterback on the football team was rolling out of the pocket. Somebody was blocked or tackled, flipped in the air, and the shoe came in and hit him in the eye.
Oh, he
And
kept going.
You literally saw him go like this. Ow! Touchdown.
Yeah, just threw away. And then they show him wiping, and it's like blood on the towel. I was like, how did he do that?
And he said, I read the interview later. He said, I didn't see it. The last thing I saw was where he was going, so I put it where I thought he was going to be. And then I was laying on the ground and heard the crowd roar, so I knew good things happened. I'm like,
oh, that's beautiful.
I spilled a piece of popcorn while watching that play, and I still haven't picked it up. Like that's
No, yeah, it's
that's
amazing.
my
That's
level of
amazing.
commitment.
Yeah.
And he was back in the next series.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then the other, you know what? The other big play. Where is? I want to talk about that. The Colts game. The Colts had that big comeback against the Buccaneers. Jacoby Brissett led that 94-yard drive.
What's crazy, look at the record of those three quarterbacks. Tom Brady, Garoppolo, and Brissett, all Patriots.
All
It's
from the system.
absurd. But the Colts, I don't think, are nearly as good as their record states.
No, they're
I
a
think they're
solid
one of
team.
those teams. They're solid, but they're one of those teams where their record is not.
I mean,
what, you know,
and their white whale
Yeah.
was beating the
They're
Chiefs.
not- they're
and
not
that was-
blowing teams
The Chiefs
out.
kind of gave them that game.
Yeah, they're not really blowing teams out of the water.
But the
type of
refs
thing.
gave them this game because he was about to get sacked in the end zone.
Yeah.
And there was a clear hold
Yep.
of not what's his name, one of the Broncos. But he came out, fired that amazing pass, and then we were all sad. I don't like any of those people.
The refs are ruining football.
The refs are getting ridiculous. And again, in the Packer game, like I said last week about the Patriots, that play, the wide receiver screen, the ball is still in Favre's hands, and the other two guys are already blocking. They're already pushing downfield, and it never gets called.
And then trying to reverse the what are they 0 for 28, something like that on trying to call that throwing the challenge flag on
That's
pass interference.
That's not working.
That is
at all.
the refs did not want that. Like you could
No.
blatantly see it's gotten to
But-
the point where the refs did not want it. They all met together and they said we're not reversing these calls.
But hang on, when they do that, it goes to New York to review.
Only the booth reviews. So the booth reviews. So if it's under 2 minutes and that goes to New York, and then they review it. 2 of those have been reversed, but any of the other ones,
No, I
have
think
not
they
been
all go back
reversed.
to New York.
None of them have
the
been
booth
reversed.
review is under 2 minutes. The booth decides if it
Yes,
should be
that's what I
reviewed.
mean.
Okay, yeah.
So when the
But
booth
if-
decides, they've won twice.
Yes.
But when the booth doesn't decide, it's 0 for 28 or something like that.
And people keep doing it. You think it's going to keep going?
No, I think they're going to stop.
You're going to stop challenging.
I mean, Gruden did one this week. He threw the flag like to the middle of the field. He was so annoyed. It's blatantly obvious that the refs did not like that. They felt attacked by that situation, and they're
So did
just
I.
going to not call it.
So did I. Do you know who Eddie Pinheiro is?
No, who is that?
Oh, the Bears have had a bad history of kicking, and he had a chance for the big game winner this week.
And he blew the kick.
He doinked it. Yeah.
Laces
cut him?
out that whole song and dance.
Pretty
right?
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Now he wasn't let go.
Let go.
He's still part of the team.
Someone's going to get let go because Matt Bryant just got let go from Atlanta.
Yes.
So someone's going to pick him up. Probably the Patriots.
Didn't the Patriots just do something?
Yeah, they picked someone up and then I think cut him.
Yeah, I think they just
I
cut
think they
him
just
this
cut
week, right?
I think they cut him today.
I think I just read that before. Well,
Yeah.
possibly while I
So
was
they'll end
driving,
up with Matt
which
Bryant.
sounds very dangerous. But I was stuck at a light. And the favorite throw of the week, my very favorite throw of the week. Can you guess it?
I mean, mine was Deshaun Watson, so I don't know where you go.
No, my favorite throw was by someone I've maligned much these past few weeks, Mr. Baker Mayfield, threw a fantastic pass to Lawrence Guy, who unfortunately plays for the New England Patriots and was about a foot away from him. Baker it reminded me of an old Jet play. I think I lost money on the Jets when they did this once. He was coming through the line, and Baker Mayfield still tried a shovel pass to like you, coming this way, but instead of throwing it to you, he went, you take it, and Lawrence Guy just kept running and ran past everybody and ran it into the end zone.
I can't even. The amount of talent around him, and everyone blames the line. Oh, the line. Houston's line's been terrible for years. Kansas City's line has been terrible for years. Those quarterbacks do just fine. They're mobile. They get the ball out, and they didn't have the talent around. Kansas City, okay, you've got Travis Kelce. You've got, but you have Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham.
Gardner Minshew is playing better than he is this year, than Baker Mayfield.
He's the new Johnny Manziel. He'll be out of the league soon.
So will Mike Nicolia.
I've contributed nothing in the past 5 minutes.
I was going to get a mirror, just put it on your nose, make sure you're still with us.
I'm listening. I'm just...
He's learning.
He is learning.
Listening and
we're going to, you know what? I think he's snookering us because we're going to start a comedians football league, and he's going to come in and go, oh, remember my episode? I didn't really know football.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
And then, bam, he takes home the big
I can see that. I can see that. Sneaky.
It does sound like him, right?
That's what he learned in his household.
Ignorance is bliss. Don't you worry.
I think that was a crack against the Italians. Are you Italian? No, what are you? Irish.
Kenny Ryan, definitely not Italian.
Yeah. Kenneth Ryan.
Oh, wait, I know. And you're actually Kenny Ryan the third, are you not? The fourth.
The fourth.
Wow, funnier.
Kenneth Edward Ryan the fourth. Wow.
The name they love so much, they just refuse
number
to
us out of the
stop.
womb.
Now, will you name? Did I ask you this last time? Will there be a Kenny Ryan?
We just went over this. I'm getting snipped.
wants to get
I'm getting
snipped.
snipped. Nuts.
Wait, can we?
But I do want a bulldog. I'll name him. Fine, I'll name him.
Can we get a 2-for-1? They reverse mine, and can they just give it to you?
I
don't know how that works.
I don't know if it works that way. I don't even like babysitting kids. Might as well have in my own. That's so much responsibility.
I would like to donate my Vaz deference to comedian Kenny Ryan. That's officially in the record books. And now I can't think of a better way to end the show than imagining our Vaz deference somehow touching.
What a classy
I hope my
show.
kids are at home watching going, Mommy, what's a Vaz deference?
Oh, yeah.
That's the name of Kenny's bulldog.
You're going to have a
Are
lot
you getting
of
a bulldog
questions.
named Vaz
I would.
deference?
I almost bought a bulldog the other day.
Really?
I was walking past. I saw him in the window, and he looked at me, and he just gave me that look of like, really? You're just going to leave me in here? And it was like $25 a month. I was like, well, that's not so bad. So I was like, how much is this dog?
For a
and
dog? Was it a rental?
They go $4,200. I was like, $25 a month out of $4,200. I was like, this
You know
ain't
how much
gonna
dogs
fly
cost
for
in
me,
the
man.
suburbs?
How much?
Nothing.
I know.
You just get like a
Just
referral
pull
to make
over
sure
and
you're
just
not just
pick
going to
'em
leave
up.
them on the parkway.
I know this one was
$4,000 for a dog.
for a dog. That's what I said.
You
I
just,
was like,
you
that's
just
crazy.
moved up another rung in the NFL thing just because of that nonsense. All right, let's wrap up. Let's talk about where we can find Mike Nicolia in the coming weeks.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I post show dates, Mike Nicolia Comedy. Saturday, I will be at Eastville Comedy Club in Brooklyn on a show called Disaster Dates, where we get to talk about bad dates that we've been on.
I keep seeing you post that, and I'm
And
like, I can't go back.
I
that
keep
far in my
hearing
history.
about this from other. I'm off Saturday. I'm coming. I'm coming
Yeah,
to see you on
we will
Saturday.
see you there.
Absolutely,
Kenneth.
So that's where
The
I'll
4th?
be on Saturday, the 4th. I can't tell you what my family calls me because it's got a curse word in it, but it's
I think we can all
my
guess.
initials are KERIV. And when I was a kid and I used to get in trouble, my mom would always yell the F word before Kenneth. She'd go, Effing Kenneth. So FKERIV. So they call me Effer4. That's my nickname in my family.
I love it.
That was a long journey, but I think in the end, I think it was worth
So if
it.
you're ever around family members and they're like, and they call me that and they're like, what is that? Now you know.
If I ever find myself
Now
in a
you
room
know.
chock full of Kenny Ryans, the first, the
Now
second,
you'll
the
know.
third, and the fourth, then I know
Only
which
the
one
third
they're
and the
talking-
fourth are left.
Only
Only the third and the fourth are left.
Ooh.
Pour out a little of your Frappuccino for Kenny
Right on
Ryan
the
the first.
soundboard.
Kenny, where are you going to be? Anywhere coming up?
Not this weekend.
Not
no,
this weekend?
nothing this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to be at Eastville.
you're
with him.
going to his place.
Yeah, I want to
Nice.
see this.
Do it.
I want to hear about these disaster dates.
Yes, I can't wait to release it to the general public.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that.
Is this going to be part of the disaster date?
Jeez.
Well,
is this football? Yeah.
I went on a football podcast.
I went on a football
I don't know
podcast,
anything, but I
didn't
can't
work
say
out.
no.
It's funny that he pulled up thinking this was a three-way date. Ooh, two pasty boys. Ooh, one's got hair, one doesn't. This is going to be dreamy.
No, this is actually, to be honest with you, this is with how long have they been doing the disaster date show?
Yeah.
I think, well, this is the first one I'm doing. I think they did it one other time.
All right, so that's
Yeah.
what it was. But Like everybody I know was on it, and I was like, so what is it? Stand up?
And I
And they're like,
knew-
no,
I
you
knew
go and
about
you
it,
talk about.
Right.
But then they were having it.
There's gonna be a game show.
I knew the
segment.
host. That's what
Yeah.
it was. One of the hosts on
Jared?
something I was shooting. He was on, and he was doing the first one.
Jared?
The first is yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
yeah.
like, so you just go in there, you talk about terrible dates. I was like, I want in. I want in on this.
That's
All
perfect.
my
Yeah.
dates are terrible.
You should sit there. You're probably going to recognize a lot of the women that go up on stage.
Yeah, right.
Because they're going to talk about him. All right, let's visit our sponsors, Epic Escape Rooms, and of course, the wonderful people over at Zorn's and Bethpage for some of that Zorn's deliciousness. Listen to my other podcast with the beautiful Chris Roach, Long Island Explained, over on longislandexplained.com, and available wherever you find good podcasts, like the Gov's Comedy Club radio page. Did I get that right, Sally? Nailed it. Gov's Comedy Club radio page. Like the page, you'll get updates. I was going to say warnings. You'll get warnings when their shows are coming on. Run for the hills. You get updates when shows go live, like Comedians on Football, like Anthony Rodia's Sorry Not Sorry. Is that tonight? Is he in?
He is not.
He's not in tonight, but he'll be in next week. And can we talk about our special show next week? Is that out for general public yet? Yes. 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock. Tony Walker's giving me the thumbs up. Next Tuesday at 9 o'clock. After this show and after the Anthony Rodia show, join me right here at this microphone with my good friend Chris Roach again for an album release party for his new album, Roach Motel, recorded right
amazing.
here at Governor's in Levittown. I was there.
That was
fabulous.
Gorillas?
800-Pound Gorilla
800-Pound
Records,
Gorilla.
yes. Another wonderful company that was delightful to work with. And that was a great show he did here. And the album is just as good. We're going to do an album release party. We're going to have some fun with Chris Roach. Tony, did you get him to bring his guitar?
He did not confirm yet.
He did not confirm. He'll either have a guitar. I might bring my bongos. Maybe we'll do a little Matthew McConaughey thing. But that's next Tuesday, 9 o'clock after Anthony Rodia's Sorry Not Sorry. Like Gov's Comedy Club Radio Facebook page for all the wonderful shows here, including the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show every day from 11. Every week at the end of my show, I start to have little brain farts. I'm having aneurysms. The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show every day from 11 to 1 p.m. and so many other great shows here on the Gov's Comedy Club Radio Network. And, of course, like the Comedians on Football Facebook page so that you can see all my witticisms and you can see what I wore for Halloween this year. Guess who it was, Kenny?
I don't know. What were you? Probably a Kansas City Chief jersey. That's about it. What are you doing for Halloween?
Me, I'm nothing, man. I'm going
He's
to
doing
disaster.
3 shows at the
do the
car
same
wash.
thing.
I had a wedding
I do
on
the same
Saturday, and I'm booked this weekend. So
I went
comedy,
to
man.
I went to a party. I had this black jacket on, and they were like, "You didn't wear a costume." I was like, "I'm Edward Norton in American History X." So leave me alone.
I never wear a
perfect.
costume.
Leave me alone.
But the ridiculous hair, coming out of the gym the other day, I went to the steam room. I went like this, and the hair went crazy. I was like, oh. Threw on a headband.
Like that.
I did that with a headband and a Mahomes jersey. Bang, I'm done.
Yeah, I
My
feel
first
right
Halloween costume
in
in 30
common
years.
talking hair with you guys. This
Sorry,
is fun.
sorry.
Your crazy hairs, that's great.
Epic Escape Rooms, Zorn's of Bethpage, Comedians on Football, Mike Nicolia, Kenny Ryan, I'm Steve Belanger. Thank you to the lovely Sally O'Neill and the almost as lovely Tony Walker, who wanders in for some reason at the end of my show every week. It is a mystery. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
That was fun. I'm sorry.